sun is where I'm at. Blazing black, focused on the fact we taking this shit back. This is all we ask, get it shining UV on the track. If we take it back, man, they used to call it niggas fat. Now we shaping that, times I've rearranged this in the past. I ain't faking drafts, yeah, I know this just shapes and crafts.
Now, number 9 is a very special number. I'll keep this video somewhat short because it's difficult to talk about 9 without other counterparts like 3 and 6. We all know about what Nikola Tesla said about 3, 6, and 9 being the key to the universe, much in the same way the universe is determined by sound, frequency, and vibration. Though that idealism is much older, extending from indigenous practices long before European existed, it doesn't make it any less true. Regardless, he brought such information into mainstream modern understanding, give or take, though I'll extend that in a different video. This time, I just want to highlight some of the special elements of 9 we find in nature, like I did with 4. First, the number represents completion. It is the last number in the 1 through 9 sequence, and thus many numerologists see it as a number of rebirth, the ending of cycles, and what comes before a new beginning. For example, 1 through 9, which turns into 10, which is just 1 and 0. With that in mind, the 9 also represents the spiral, given its shape, hurricane spin in the 9 typically. Music originally was tuned at 432 Hz, which when added makes up the frequency 9, though later, as we know, it was changed to 440 Hz. I'm not going to say I know why, but an unharmonious frequency forced on the masses, yeah, let's just pretend we don't know what that's about. A circle has 360 degrees. 3 plus 6 is 9, meaning that the completed circle has the frequency of the 9. Multiply any number by 9 and then add the composition and those numbers together, you always get 9. For example, 9 times 9 equals 81. 8 plus 1 equals 9. We can take 81 and multiply that by 9, which is 729. 7 plus 2 plus 9 equals 18. When you add 8 plus 1, it equals 9. 729 times 9 equals 6,561. 6 plus 5 plus 6 plus 1 equals 18, which again equals 9. By now, I think you are beginning to see the pattern. Reducing a multiple of 9 will always return to the basic frequency of the 9. In this sense, the 9 frequency takes command of anything it is multiplied with. This is the only number that we can observe this mathematical phenomenon, and for good reason. Alternatively, if you add 9 to a number, it always reduces to the number you added it to. 9 plus 7 equals 16. 1 plus 6 equals 7. 16 plus 9 equals 52. 5 plus 2 equals 7. Even when you add 9 to the larger number, it will always return to its original base. Again, interesting coincidence, no? 9 is just an upside down 6, or vice versa. That always goes again into the 3, 6, and the 9. The sum of all the digits excluding 9, 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 equals 36. 3 plus 6 equals 9. 9 plus 36 equals 45. Add a 0 to 36 and you get the 360, which is 9. 4 plus 5 equals 9. Wasn't Trump the 45th president? That's kind of interesting. Okay. Maybe I'm getting a little too deep, but let's just keep it practical for all intents and purposes. So if you look at measurements, right, 1 square foot is 144 inches, which equals 9. 1 cubic foot, which is 1,728 cubic inches, equals 9. 1 square yard, which is 1,296 inches, equals 9. 1 cubic yard, 46,656 cubic inches, equals 9. In time, we have 86,400 seconds in a day, which when you add that together equals 9. 3,600 seconds in an hour equals 9. 604,800 seconds in a week equals 9. 1,440 minutes a day, right? 1,440 minutes a day is 9. 10,080 minutes a week equals 9. 25,920 years in a procession equals 9. And finally, 525,600 minutes in a year is 9. I think by now, if you don't get it, you probably don't want to get it or never will. And you're probably crazy. All right, I'm not going to be that much of an asshole, but come on now. It's pretty practically sound at this point. 9 is everywhere, and it is fundamental to certain things in our universe here. Now, moving on from the more practical aspects, let's look at it from a more spiritual, numerological, religious point of view, just for a moment. If we look at China represents 9 as the dragon. Now, there's a wall in China known as the 9 dragons. These 9 dragons all represent a different supernatural ability. And as we can see here, there's a larger description that I'll just go over really quickly. In one form, we find it coiled like the Ouroboros, the symbol of the eternal return and the totality of life. The Chinese dragon is related to the number 9, the most sacred number in China. 9 is a symbol of time and cyclicity. A legend speaks of 9 major types of dragon: the horned dragon, the winged dragon, the celestial dragon, the nature spirits dragon, the dragon of hidden treasures, the coiling dragon, the yellow dragon, and the dragon king. These 9 are the offspring of the primordial dragon, the unknowable mystery. Thus, it becomes esoterically identified with the eternal and omnipresent Tao. This is why the dragon acquires an unlimited range of paranormal powers. It is said to be able to disguise itself as a silkworm or become as large as the entire universe. Folk tales speak of the dragon having all the attributes of the other 11 creatures of the zodiac. In other words, it contains within itself all the possible archetypes of existence. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? Remember that in the 1 through 9 sequence, 9 holds the power of all the other numbers, just as that primordial dragon holds all the powers of all the animals in the zodiac. Oh wait, did I mention that a baby also rests in the mother's womb for 9 months? Optimally, anyway. Now, back to the next point. In the last video, we talked about life paths in relation to the number 4. In this sequence, we'll be talking about expression or destiny numbers, specifically expression number 9. We'll also look at the birthday number since mine is 9, so just to throw that in there. As you can see, I have a very nice relationship with the number 9 because it is laced in pretty much everything that I am. We can knock a few birds out with one stone, so to speak. First, let's again use cafe astrology to get some references for the number 9. Some of its positive and negative traits, as well as other spiritual references that people may have come up with over time. One thing to note about numerology as a whole is that it shows interpretations or patterns, tendencies, and likelihoods. It's not necessarily a full determiner of a person and their fate, even though it is kind of a divination in a way. That is because numbers have positive and negative charges, and a person's choices ultimately will decide their path, as we all know, free will and all that. The positive associations with the number 9 include compassionate, tolerant, benevolent, intuitive, mystical, charming, and idealistic, while negative traits can be stingy, impulsive, intolerant, insensitive, and effusive. Here is the general description of cafe astrology for 9. As 1 marked beginnings in leadership, 9 marks completion of the circle in humanitarianism. 9 is the number that finishes all that was started by the numbers which come before it. 9 represents highly developed intuition and spirituality. 9 also represents the apex of human spiritual development. It is considered the supreme number of the 1 through 9 circle. While 9 denotes endings, it also signifies the mastery of all the challenges faced by the numbers that preceded it. Here are some associations for the number 9. In Tarot, it's the Hermit. In astrology, it represents Sun, Virgo, Moon, Mars, Jupiter, and Sagittarius. In the runic, it represents Jera. In I Ching, it represents number 20, Quan. In the Tree of Life, it represents Jesod, sometimes Yesod, also known as Foundation. That is the Kabbalah. In the Hebrew letters, it is Tet and Zadi. In shamanism, it represents the squirrel, the snake, and reptiles. Its element is fire. In alchemy, it represents earth and gold. And its aura is fall colors, which is yellow, gold, indigo, red, things like that. In gemstones, it's opal. Its crystal is quartz. The month, September, shout out. Its weekday is Monday, and the lucky numbers are 1, 5, 6, 9, 18, 27, 36, 54, 63, 72, 81, 90, 99, and 108. And its flora is holly, magnolia, buttercup, sycamore, and oak. So as we see with this number 9, we're seeing these elements of foundation. We're seeing these elements of completion. We're seeing these elements of completion of the whole, the circle, the full roundedness, the coming back to the beginning from the end and into a new beginning. So in the last video, we spoke about life paths. The calculation that helps identify the better lived predetermined track that per person may go to have more ease in what they're doing. Expression or destiny number is different. I mentioned that it has to do with your name. Giving into that, there are many sites and or services available to get this information, though you can just as easily do it yourself. One such chart explains the expression or destiny number as one's full name. This full name has much more significance than most people realize as far as expressing one's frequency as a being is concerned. Now I get this may be a kind of a far out concept, but remember that language controls epigenetics and alters the expression of one's genes. So let's read through for fun, shall we? Your name at birth, your primary expression. This is how you express yourself. Expression number is your full name, letters in the name, right? Your name is not an accident. I call the moment of your birth adorned time. Your name is your vibration, the melody of your soul, as it passed through the door in time and entered this world. Your name can be seen as a musical score, rich in vibration and nuance. This vibration and nuance are not arbitrarily connected to you, but are an exact reflection in every detail to the vibrational entity that is you at this time. Also, your name represents the inheritance of your personal history up to the moment of your birth. Whatever the history is, it has shaped into you what you are. There is much speculation throughout history of reincarnation and the transmigration of souls, but whatever the actual truth may be, you enter this life as a unique entity with shape and form that was the result of some kind of evolution. That is you. Many people argue that they were named by their parents and that their names are arbitrarily chosen for them, but I believe that our parents choose names for us by subconsciously picking up on our vibration, then naming us accordingly. Not only is your name an exact musical vibration of you in your current state, it also represents all the accumulated knowledge and experience of your evolutionary inheritance. All things begin in the vibrational world. Your name is an outward sound or a melody that radiates from your soul. Numerology is the method of unveiling the hidden information in your name. All the letters of your name gives you the diakonia or destiny for your life. Your expression number is 9. The expression number 9. So we're talking about the 9 because that's mine. The expression number 9 reflects your physical and mental constitution, the orientation of your life goals. The number of expression 9 reflects your talents, abilities, traits, and flaws. The degree to which you will be able to use these abilities and realize their inner potential defines you, who you are in the end. Another site reads that a 9 destiny number tends to be associated with service to mankind, with tolerance and compassion, and understanding with a true wish for mankind that all is fine, true, and generous. The person is likely to be inspirational, kind, understanding, generous, intuitive, psychic, and an inspired actor. They tend to give freely of their skill and leadership purely for the benefit of others, and have the ability to use words effectively and artistically, both written and verbal. The person tends to be artistic, strong, courteous, kind, impulsive, emotional, and have an impressive presence. Let's choose out another one, shall we? Here we see that 9 represents global awareness. Helpful, compassionate, aristocratic, sophisticated, and charitable. Generous, humanitarian, self-sufficient, proud, self-sacrificing. You are the humanitarian. You are attracted to the cause or a movement whose purpose is to make a better world. You are extremely idealistic, sometimes to the point of being naive about people and methods. You have a great compassion and seek to create a more humane society. You have an abundance of artistic talent. Many with your expression number find themselves in the arts, especially in literature, painting, and the visual and performing arts. The number 9 indicates the completion of a cycle or a block of learning. The 9 expression suggests that you have reached the point where a breakthrough can occur. During this lifetime, you can apply all that you have learned along your evolutionary path and complete a major stage in your development. This is why we find many geniuses with the 9 expression You have the ability to synthesize many diverse bits of knowledge into a unified whole. So, what have we learned? Well, first, the expression number or destiny number are interchangeable terms. Check. Anything else? Well, 9 is one lofty motherfucker, ain't it? Now, I'm not gonna hold my balls and toot my own horn, but it's kinda lit hearing that, knowing what I know about myself. But this video ain't about me, it's about the 9. I'm being extra, but I think you get the point. The math is adding up. 9 is a number which has been given the attributes of compassion, of artistry, of global awareness. It is a number of grand design. It is designed to have all of the other elements of numbers within it, thus carrying the wisdom of the entire circle itself. Now, that sounds like some elite shit if you ask me. But is there anything else we can learn? Well, let's think about the birthday number. The energy represented by the day of birth number is a perspective, a point of view of life. Its resonance indicates a primary focus a person has on their life path. The energy is a motivator. It is an approach to life that feels right. The birthday number sometimes is referred to as the psychic number. The talents and abilities that resonate with the birthday number 9 energy tend to be related to compassion and humanitarian deeds. The person with this number is inclined to choose goals that are practical and have some direct benefit to others. The energy resonates with philanthropy, grand vision, and a broad-mindedness. Okay, philanthropy, I like that. The birthday number is 9. Sensitivity and rationalistic features are harmoniously combined in these people. They have a very well-developed intuition and broad thinking. They are usually well-educated and they read a lot. These people are perceptive and sensitive to every single event in their life, and from their experiences they usually make the appropriate conclusions. Philosophical positions while evaluating events makes them tolerant to their own and others' shortcomings. They are open and unbiased. They have a commitment to a strict ethical criterion. People of number 9 often strive for perfection, trying to surround themselves with the best possible things. They have high demand. Yeah, see, so there's a lot going on with that. But we see the patterns. 9 is philanthropic. It is philosophical. It is an intelligent number. But remember, one thing I'll say about these sites, there's always a dark side and they don't always mention it. So they're giving you the positive aspects to get you hooked. That much I'll say. Everything is corrupt in some way, right? So just to close out, I want to show off a handful of the numbers found in my circle. Again, different systems are going to show different results, but they are generally pretty lined up. Look, my chart is full of 9s and 4s. I have 6 9s and 7 4s, which is pretty crazy to think about. Down here, we see that my main numbers are made up of the infamous 369. Now, I'm not even going to try to tell you what that means. I don't think I can without sounding pretentious or self-righteous. But let's just assume it's important and cool as shit. So, what do I think? Well, it's a pretty weird flex being born on 9/9 in the 1990s. Like all things, this sort of stuff is susceptible to scrutiny at this level. Numbers and words correlating, who would have thought of that? And yet, somehow the principles of the mathematics in the description seem eerily accurate somehow. Of course, even I understand that 9 probably has a larger repertoire of negative or dark attributes. I am also inclined to accept that the good outweighs the bad in this number specific case. Every Virgo or person born on the 9th day is not a giver or humanitarian, and this is mostly within the Gregorian calendar system. There are various calendars you could use and various number systems that would change the meaning ever so slightly, but in this paradigm there's a reason things line up, even if they weren't exactly intended to be. You could even say that all things are part of the grand design, but you can always tell me what you think in the comments. This has been the real story of the number 9. Until next time.
What's happening is all inside, like what's happening. Look careful at your life, like what's happening. You know that something just ain't right, like a fire burn true. You cannot fly if you ain't light. What's happening is all inside. We in the times of revealing, so why the mind the lost art? Keep building, put your energy toward an art. Keep feeling, even through the valley. chosen oath.